Hello and welcome. In this lecture, let's now learn what are packages and modules in Python. We know that a software system is nothing but a collection of different objects or pieces of code. It will have different functionalities depending upon the requirements. So let's say we need to create this banking system and it needs to take care of tons of functionalities for different users. There will be a customer management for customers as well as the bank employees. Then the bank would surely be in the business of loans. So they need to manage that as well. Then there will be functionalities related to accounting of transactions, functionalities for various types of cards, managing cash flows as well as payments and deposits. These are very high level functionalities and they can really become humongous. And indeed, they are. You may have thousands of functions to provide those functionalities to these departments. And similarly, there will be hundreds of classes and objects that need to work together. And now, if we attempt to write the code even for one of the systems of the banks, it will run into thousands of lines of code. And moreover, beyond a point, you won't even know which block of code does what. Also, there will be hundreds of employees that will be required if we really need to bring this code to life in a reasonable amount of time. Now, can you imagine how big the task will be? And that's why we need the modular design for the software. And in that, we write each of these functions and classes into different modules, or we may even group them together based on the functionality they provide. All right. And there are distinct advantages of such a design. For one, we can do collaborative development. We can work as a team with different members of the team working on different pieces of the code. Secondly, we may not even have to rewrite some code. We can reuse these modules once they are written. And with that comes the advantage of lesser lines and very efficient code base. And once we have such a code base, no wonder it will be very easy to maintain as well. And we can easily rectify the bugs from individual modules without affecting or breaking something else. Great. I hope that is clear. So now let's try to understand the meaning of these words of packages and modules. They appear very complex when you hear them for the first time. But don't you worry, they are actually very simple terms once you understand them. Have a look at this structure. I have these Python programs saved as .py files, and I can group them depending upon the type of functionality they provide. So for grouping, I just created these different folders of customers, cards, accounting, loans, and so on. And then I have these Python files stored in them. Now, each of these files can have various functions and classes, and they would do some processing based on the arguments passed to them. So these files, which contain these functions and classes, are called as modules in Python. So we can have a module to add a customer, or module to edit the details of the customer, or even delete or inactivate a customer. Okay, so each of these programs will do some specific processing of the data, and they are called as modules. Okay, I hope that explains what the modules are. And now the group of these modules, which are nothing but these folders, are called as packages. Isn't it simple? So packages are folders or directories which store the Python files or modules, and these modules have specific functions or classes grouped together. I hope now at least we are clear on the definitions and the terminology used here. The package is slightly more than a folder, but I will come to that when we actually create a package. But for now, just understand that package is nothing but a special folder which has got modules in it. And to access the code from such packages and modules, we use the import statement. You must remember that we used it couple of times in the past. So when we use the math module or the datetime module, we imported them using this import statement. And these are built-in modules and packages that comes with the Python installations. But what if we want to modularize our code and create our own modules? Well, for that, let's now go to the Python environment and create our own modules and packages. Thanks for watching.